Hello everyone, I'm Major Chip, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at this Winner mechanical watch. Now, this is an automatic mechanical watch, and as you may be able to tell, it's also a skeletonized mechanical watch. Which, I quite like skeleton watches myself, seeing all the inner workings, and more importantly, being able to see the spring and how much winding you have left before it runs out of power. That's very useful. This one here is an automatic watch that I got for the princely sum of $14. Now, you can actually get a cheaper version of this without the automatic winding, and it looks exactly the same, and it doesn't have the winder. But we'll come back on to this one. Right now we're going to focus on this one here. As you hopefully can see, the second hand actually has a very nice, stable sweeping motion all around the dial, which is one thing that I, prefer a whole lot over the quartz watches, which just goes tick, 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 tick. This one's just constantly moving, and most mechanical watches are like that. As you can see, the back here, you have an automatic winder. You have the... If I can get the winder in the right place, you have the counterbalance, or what I believe is called a counterbalance. I could be wrong about that. I'm not particularly familiar with mechanical watches and all their inner workings. And on the dial, you have... see it through the other side, as you can see, completely see-through. And you see the spring up there. If you can see the spring up there, wow, that is that's great. And you see a little ticking thing over there, and it's actually a pretty nice watch. Now, I only wore this watch a couple of days, and the reason being I wanted to see how the automatic function worked, or how well it kept itself winded. Didn't do a very good job, just through normal wearing and use. Didn't really wind itself up much. But, to be honest, the automatic function isn't exactly something I'm particularly keen on for these small, cheap Chinese watches, because it usually doesn't work very well. But we'll move that one to the side, because this one is a whole lot easier to see the movement of. The reason being is you don't have that counterweight in the way, so you could just look, or counterbalance, or whatever it is. So you could just look in and see all of the moving gears, which is pretty nice. Talking about timekeeping, well, first I'll talk about the power. I wound these things the same time every day for about a week and a half, and they only lost about a minute, give or take, which is pretty fantastic for a cheap Chinese watch. Not bad at all. It wasn't even a full minute, it was like 30 seconds. 30, 40 seconds. Could have been a minute. Anywhere around there. As you can see, the dial actually has a pretty nice texturing on it. If you could see to the left, it actually has different patterns textured into the dial. It has a very, very reflective hands and everything else. Also has glow-in-the-dark hands, which actually do glow in the dark pretty well. Up top you have what I assume is an Invicta or, other luxury brand watch rip-off logo. And a Winner down on the bottom, which I think is one of the few downsides of this watch, because that just kind of tells you right there it's something, like a cheap Chinese watch. The front glass is not actually flat, it is convex, I believe that would be, because it's going out. And it also does provide a little bit of magnification on the movement and everything. Not a bad looking watch at all. Let me just quickly put it on my arm so I don't make the same mistake I did in my diesel review, where I didn't put it on my arm. It's actually doesn't feel too bad on the arm. I don't particularly care for it because it's a bit smaller than I'm really used to for watches. It doesn't have much weight to it, and also it has a pretty small dial here, and it's pretty tall, pretty thick. So, and that's the same on both of them, because even though this one doesn't have the automatic winding, it's the same exact case. So you have a whole lot of wasted space over there that really didn't need to be there, but I mean, they're using the same case regardless, so it is what it is. The strap is supposedly made of genuine leather. Actually, I just noticed something. This watch right here says genuine leather right there, and this one doesn't. And it does look to be quite a bit different. That's interesting. I've never noticed that before. And that's kind of funny, because this one seems to be a bit more stiff. This one didn't really wear in, but I only wore it a couple of days, so that could be why. So this one could be actual leather, and this one's fake, or they both aren't real leather. They both kind of have the smell of leather to them. That's funny. I never noticed that. But the only thing I have left to say about these things is don't let them go near water. Because while washing my hands, these things got a little bit of water on them, and it leaked right through. And the dial got all fogged up. And to be honest, I thought it was going to rust up and not work anymore, but seems to have survived, and survived pretty well, which is kind of surprising to me. Yes, if you're looking for one of these on eBay, like I said, I paid $14 for this one, and I think $10 for this one without the automatic winding, which, it's up to you. The automatic winding doesn't seem to do that much for it, but, you might want that feature regardless. But you can find them. Just type in winner skeleton watch, and like the first page you should see one of these watches, with or without the automatic. All depends. And for their cheap price, I mean, they seem to have held up well for the week or so that I wore them. And they kept decent time, and I mean, they're dirt cheap, so why not give it a shot? Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Feel free to leave a comment if you have one. This is Major Jip, signing out.